That's the.
Could you explain more openly what you mean with uniformity, that the uniformity is static? Because I'm not from the, I'm not historian, I'm from cultural anthropology.
Yes.
And there we have some other views on it.
You have some views?
No, other views. But even my other thought, what I noticed is that you talk about clash of theologies instead of clash of cultures.
Yes.
And on this point I have a political view that at the end of the Cold War we had an area of 10 years of the multipolar political system, and why was there a need to create a new enemy? The enemy picture is, just as you said, spread out with Huntington, and
yes, well,
now we are in the middle of this
yes.
enemy, the good ones, the bad ones.
Yes.
Why do we need it?
I will answer that the West didn't create a completely 100% an image of an enemy. Because in the texts of the ideologists, the West is already an enemy. That is very clear in Said Qutb's writings, and that he died in 1966. And also in Abul Ala Maududi. There is a polarization already working long before Huntington started to talk about that. I agree with you, so that's my point of view. If you read this analysis, you will find out. I agree with you that it was not necessary that politicians from the West started to talk about their enemy, Muslims as enemies. We didn't do that in the time. We didn't do that in the time of Vatican II, and the church is still going on that same line. On the same line, we should be positive in our relations, and of course, if we have to criticize, we criticize. That is true. I cannot accept Wahhabi ideology or Said Qutb's ideology or Abul Ala Maududi's ideology as bringing us peace for the future. I don't see that because it's too exclusivist. You can see how Wahhabis attack 2010 in Lahore, the shrine of Ujwiri, one of the early Sufi writers. Why, in God's name, put a bomb there and kill 50 people who were praying at that shrine? Because this is not allowed by the pure political Islam. And that's why this bomb, it is the only way to explain it. So Sufism rather holds popular devotion, Christianity, Shia. Why attack the Shia shrines in Iraq? This is all part of, there is only one model to be Muslim, and this is a kind of political model, very purified from all other things, and this is God's law. Now, when you arrive there, this is very strict uniformity. I think I make myself clear, but I'm sorry to say I don't talk about Wahhabis in my book. It's implicit, it's there, the analysis is there, but this is an insight because of what I see. Why attack the Shia? Why attack the Catholic Church in Baghdad? Why attack a Muslim shrine in a mosque? And then I understand. So, yeah.
Jetzt wie hier Diakon Waber und dann.
I think the big problem, this critical Islam, this is someone means he can bring the whole world in a certain direction. And he is trying to do it, may I say, Osama bin Laden, for example. He is trying to do this with his money and trying to get young people to spend their life in order all Islamic people or Christians or other directions, they have to be killed in order to focus on this political direction, what he means to realize. This is a big problem now.
Yeah, well, I will interrupt you. I'm sorry to do that. But I don't talk about bin Laden in my book. I don't think so. The translator knows my book better than I do, I think, because I don't think. I don't think. I'm not talking. My book is theological, quite philosophical. It's not a sociological or political analysis. I'm saying that in the introduction already. Going that far, I don't want to do that because I want to underline the positive, the very positive meaning of Aslim Taslam. I met with Muslims. They are the victims of this political Islam themselves, and it's bringing to tragedy. But these are some chapters, politic and tragedy here and crisis. But you have the central chapters where I start to talk about Islam high, to understand deeper when Muhammad Talbi is saying what is submit to God is this acceptance of my humanity as it is, in its richness, and in what I am as a human being. These aspects are the heart of Islam, and you can understand it in a very dynamic way. And I wanted to stress this because I didn't want to start with this kind of clash of civilizations.
Yeah. No, excuse me. The problem belongs to Muhammad, the initiator of this Islam.
Well, that's
he went through the world with his doing only to define, are you Muslim? Okay, you are not Muslim, you can be killed or you have to pay.
This is when I want to avoid that conclusion. I want to avoid that conclusion because that is not clear at all. This is one interpretation of what happened in history, but you have to put this in its time, contextualize. This is also what some political ideologies don't do. We have to do this, not to do the same. We have to contextualize also the life of Muhammad. That's why I'm going through this question in the chapter on jihad, very long.
Yeah, yes.
What is the meaning of jihad? This is not that clear. Of course, Thomas Aquinas is completely with you. The Prophet of Islam is very negative in his image, but I leave it open because even in I forgot his name, this Syrian theologian El-Bouti, it's there. El-Bouti, he will give the two versions of possibility of understanding jihad. So there is the possibility of the temptation towards violence, but in the actual Islamic world. And that's what I saw in Indonesia. They found I'm sorry to say, they said, your book is good. And I understood, you are our ally in our struggle against a kind of political Wahhabism.
Yes.
And these are minorities. These are minorities. Of course, they have the bombs, even in Stockholm yesterday. They have the bombs, and they come in the newspapers, and they make that image so negative. That's why I want to underline, I want to balance the image. The temptation of violence is there. The interpretation, and not contextual interpretation, is possible. But there is another interpretation, and if I want to go back to an experience in our Dominican house in Cairo, one day we had a French group. We have some groups, and they asked us, can we meet some professors from Al-Azhar? And we said, that's easy for us. We called the president, and he said, okay, I will give you one or two of our professors, teachers. And okay, we went with the bus there, and then the group arrived, and I didn't enter with them, I was not. But when they came back, they said, well, we arrived in the aula, and we had almost 20 professors. But they were united in one thing, saying, this violent Islam, that's not what we have in our heart. This is not what we are as Muslims. So I have to bring that. Well.
Ja, Schimmerer.
Also meine Frage geht eigentlich in diese, darf ich das Deutsch sagen?
Ja, ja, ja.
Meine Frage geht eigentlich in dieselbe Richtung. Aber ich muss sagen, wie ich da drauf komme. Wir hatten also ich bin Laie. Ich bin kein Wissenschaftler, sondern ich bin an die Frage christlich-islamischer Dialog als Christ gegangen und habe mich mit Muslimen unterhalten. Auf niederster Ebene, aber auch auf höherer Ebene. Ich habe einen Arbeitskreis gegründet, da waren Koranwissenschaftler dabei und auch theologische und auch christliche Theologen. Es waren Moscheevorstände dabei und wir sind an dieser Frage gescheitert. Das heißt, zwingt der Koran den Muslim dazu, das zu tun, was Bin Laden sagt? Das ist die Grundfrage. Das heißt, man muss aus dem Koran her beweisen können, dass es nicht so ist. Und merkwürdigerweise sind die Muslime, der Koranwissenschaftler aus Marokko, nicht in der Lage gewesen, oder gar nicht, sie haben es nicht gewollt, diese Frage zu beantworten. Sie haben das, entschuldigt, dass ich noch sage, Sie haben damals habe ich das nicht gewusst, dass Sie gar nicht den Ijtihad gehen durften. Und heute weiß ich das, warum Sie damals nicht geantwortet haben. Aber als Ende dieses Arbeitskreises habe ich diese Frage, Islam, Freund oder Feind, als Laie gestellt und ein Buch darüber geschrieben. Und ich bin an die Frage so gegangen, wie wir Christen an die Bibel gehen. Wir meinen, Gott sagt nicht nur den Wissenschaftlern etwas in der Bibel, sondern auch den einfachen Menschen. Ich weiß, dass weitgehend im Islam auf der ganzen Welt dieser Weg nicht gegangen wird, denn die meisten können weder Arabisch, noch können sie oft ihre eigene Sprache nicht. Sie sind Analphabeten, ihnen wird es einfach gesagt, was da drin steht. Aber selbst in den Übersetzungen, die ich gelesen habe, bin ich zu der Ansicht gekommen, dass es unendlich viele Stellen im Koran gibt, die zeigen, dass der Islam kein Feind ist. Und ich wundere mich, dass das in der wissenschaftlichen Welt nicht einfach, schlicht und einfach bewiesen wird. Nehmen Sie bloß die Sure 46, 46. Vers. Da steht der Pluralismus in Reinkultur drin. Nehmen Sie andere Stellen, wo es heißt, dies ist ein Buch für Araber und sonst nichts. Er soll gar nicht übersetzt werden, er kann gar nicht, er ist für die anderen schwer wie Blei. Also das heißt, also an anderen Stellen wieder, wo gesagt wird, allein die Verkündigung ist eure Aufgabe und ansonsten kümmert euch nicht um die anderen, die werden gerufen von einem anderen Ort. Das heißt also, im Koran selbst ist die Frage von ihm beantwortet. Und jetzt habe ich die Frage, wenn ich sie recht verstanden habe, haben Sie in Ihren Ausführungen gesagt, es gibt neben dem wissenschaftlichen Weg durch die Vielzahl der Dinge, die man kennenlernt auf diesem Weg, auch einen Glauben, der nicht ganz so wissenschaftlich ist. Ist das richtig so, ja? Das heißt, man glaubt dann etwas. Der Face, haben Sie gesagt. Ne? Das heißt, also man fühlt, dass da etwas so sein muss, ohne dass es dann streng wissenschaftlich bewiesen werden kann. Und das meine ich auch. Ich meine, dass irgendwo, auch aus dem Koran, der ja eine heilige Schrift ist, Allah, oder nennen Sie ihn Jehova, oder nennen Sie ihn Schöpfer, er dafür gesorgt hat, dass auch durch diese Übersetzung hindurch das, was er sagen wollte, herauskommt. Und da spricht der Koran für mich, ich könnte es Ihnen zeigen, ich habe ja das Buch auch geschrieben und es ist korankonform, so wie ich meine, dass eben die Frage beantwortet werden kann.